Hi, this is Kaushik Ranchod, and welcome to our latest immigration news update. What we're going to be talking about is Trump versus Biden on immigration law. This is really important, so you'll want to stay tuned to learn both of their policies, what the differences are, so you can decide on who you want to vote for or just be more informed about what could happen if you're not able to vote. So I'm going to start off with Biden's immigration policy, so you can know a little bit more about what he plans on doing once he gets into office. Okay, well, overall, Biden plans on reversing many of Trump's immigration policies. So let's look specifically on how this plays out. I am a little bit biased being an immigration lawyer, seeing exactly what happens on the ground. So we're gonna delve into why these assertions actually are true. He also plans on beefing up screening, but in a different way, not by building that crazy wall, but by doing a more intelligent beefing up of security. And then another thing that he plans on doing is creating a path for citizenship for people who are here, who are undocumented. And he plans on restoring the integrity of the asylum system. What happened under Trump was Trump has attacked asylum, and one of the things our nation is known for is by honoring human rights. And that's been under attack under the Trump administration. Well, Biden plans on restoring asylum to what it once was. Another thing that Biden plans on doing is giving dreamers a path to US citizenship. Now this is not just a path, but giving them US citizenship. But this is really a huge departure, because Trump plans, well, he has, and he is trying to end DACA. Now the Supreme Court has pushed it back to the Trump administration and basically did not end DACA, but is allowing the Trump administration to end it. The administration is trying to end DACA now. This is a huge departure, and what's important and notable here is that normally a path to citizenship, people think, oh, I can just apply for citizenship, but it's not that easy. Usually the whole process involves first getting a visa and then getting a green card. Getting a green card is not easy. It can be a long process. And then after getting a green card, if you got it through marriage, after 3 years, you can apply for a marriage-based green card. Or after 5 years, you can apply, if it was based on employment or another way, for citizenship. So this just basically allows one to apply immediately for citizenship. Of course, we'll have to see what he does when he gets elected. I thought that was something that was really notable by Biden. He really wants to end the uncertainty for DACA holders that's been so unfair, and what the Trump administration has done is just elevated that uncertainty, elevated the fear, which has been a theme for the presidency. Another thing that Biden will do was end the travel ban on some of the Muslim countries. This has been detrimental, for instance, for many talented doctors that come from these countries. It's been detrimental for creating separation of families, so that would be ended. Another thing that he would end is the penalization to sanctuary cities. Basically, the Trump administration has punished sanctuary cities, and Biden would reverse that. So that's something that's also pretty awesome there too. Another thing that he would do is condemn the family separation. You've seen on TV the horrific separation of children from their family members, the cruelty. He's going to end that through his immigration policies as well. He's also going to reverse what Trump has done for TPS. Trump has ended TPS for a number of countries, and he will reverse that back to what it once was. And that's been really sad. Temporary protected status is for certain countries where people have had to flee their countries, and the United States has always been a country that has tried to lift up people through human rights, and the Trump administration has taken that away, and Biden is basically restoring the integrity back to these programs and back to the moral fabric of our country. Pretty cool. Okay, now what's really interesting is that Biden has not always been liberal or on immigration. So he's typically, if you look at his record, he has voted for some restrictionist policies. In 2006, he voted for the Secure Fence Act. 1996, there was a very restrictive immigration law that has been very detrimental to today. For instance, if you come in and you have 2 unlawful entries and you've overstayed for more than a year, you're subject to a permanent bar. And that is a lot of people. I see a lot of people come through my office who are subjected to that. Well, Biden, with the Clinton administration, put that law into effect, and it's hurt a lot of families. So it's going to be interesting to see if he departs from this restrictionist past in some of these laws that he voted for. And it looks like, if you look at what he's put out on his website and whatnot, that he does tend to basically take a departure from his past. Of course, you never know until someone takes office, and we will see what happens. Hopefully, if he does win the election, what will happen. In the first 100 days, Biden has announced that he's going to only put people into removal if they have criminal convictions. He's going to get rid of the asylum policies. He's going to reunite families. So first 100 days, he's going to take immediate action. Now, what I saw what happened with the Trump administration is we didn't see things go into effect immediately. It took time for things to go into effect. But he has a plan here for 100 days, boom, boom, boom. 100 days is pretty fast. So we'll see, what happens, but he already wants to start reversing things immediately. A lot of things that Trump has done is through executive order, so it's not necessarily through the change of law, but through what's called an executive order. So things that Trump implemented through executive order will be able to be reversed very quickly. And what's been really interesting with the Trump administration is it seems like he's had this weird obsession with just trying to reverse everything that Obama did. So if Biden gets elected, it's going to be a reversal to redoing what Trump did, going back to what Obama initially created in his presidency, where Biden was once vice president. So it's going to be a pretty exciting time if Biden gets elected. One of the biggest reversals that the Biden administration will implement is getting rid of the public charge rule that the Trump administration has implemented. This is very detrimental to green card holders, not allowing green card holders to apply if they've taken certain types of public benefits. That will be one of the things that Biden will do. And if you are someone who has taken public benefits, you'll want to consult with an attorney to make sure that that's not going to affect your green card application, because that has been a law that's recently gone into effect. It's been litigated a lot in the courts. It's unfortunately restricting immigration for green card holders, and it's really changed the past lay of the land for showing that someone will not be a public charge to the United States. Another thing that we're going to see is that what Trump did to help build the wall is he diverted money by claiming that it's a national emergency to build the wall. But that's what he said. It's a national emergency to build the wall. So he was able to garner funds that way to build the wall. So the Biden administration will also be reversing that as well. So one of the exciting things as well is that during the Obama administration, you'll notice that if you've been following immigration law, that there was the DAPA, and basically which provided a pathway to many undocumented immigrants to become legal. And that went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court denied DAPA, but Biden's committed to making history and giving a path to citizenship for the 11 million undocumented people over here, because there's no pathway for them. So there's no way for them to get legal, and people think that there is a way for them to get legal, but that's not the case. There is no pathway for many of these people, many of the 11 million undocumented people, to get legal, and that would be one of the hallmarks of the Biden administration, according to what his website says. Part of Biden's 100-day plan is a moratorium on removals except for people who have felony. You'll see in some that a lot of his policies are reversing Trump's policies and then taking action on DACA. Those are the three main characteristics that I see with the Biden plan. So we've gotten to the Biden plan. Now let's look at what the Trump plan is. You've seen what a lot of what Trump's done. So one of the major things, Trump came into power by basically using immigrants as a scapegoat, touting the building of the wall. Now you don't see that rhetoric as much now because a lot of middle-class Americans don't care as much. The reason that they don't care is that there's other more pressing issues such as the coronavirus. So you don't see that rhetoric being played out as much, but the wall is still a major thing. It's still taking money from the defense fund, claiming that it's a national emergency and building out the law. So that the wall, that's one of his hallmarks. Another aspect of the Trump plan that I've seen is that it's just basically trying to attack immigration in any which way and form that he can. So if he becomes president again, I expect that he will continue to do that. Trump has also created a cap on refugees to enter the United States to 18,000. And he's also created the Muslim ban, so expect that to continue, expect the family separation to continue with that, losing talented researchers and scientists and doctors because of that Muslim ban. And that's where Biden's pointing to the wall and the racism surrounding that and calling countries from TPS, I don't even want to say the language, but something whole countries. That kind of rhetoric is where Biden is saying that is morally bankrupt, that's racist. So you can see a clash there, and it'll be interesting to see how much this is going to be a factor in the election, because immigration has been downplayed. It wasn't really something that was there and even discussed in the vice president debates. Trump also has punished sanctuary cities, denying them funds. He's ended temporary protected status to a number of countries. One big embarrassment for him was where he tried to send students back from who were taking online classes. And he had a number of lawsuits from top universities in the country, MIT, a whole host of universities, and he had to rescind that position, allowing foreign students to stay in the United States. But he tried to use COVID, and a lot of his current immigration policies are trying to use COVID to basically use that as pretext, as a way, as an excuse to hurt immigration policies. So overall, if you've looked, recently at the statistics for removal, I'm going to share that with you. So for the year 2019, year to date, there's been 269,000 arrests of undocumented immigrants. So you're seeing the numbers in the 200,000s for the last few years for undocumented immigrants. So if he continues to be president, what I see is a continued attack of immigration, any which way or form. Denials have gone up 30% in many areas. Some areas of immigration even higher. The focus on building this wall, basically continuing to hurt asylum policies. That's what I see for the Trump administration. I hope this video served you. You gotta understand the differences between Biden and President Trump's immigration policies. They haven't really been discussed that much. So if you like this video, please give it a like and share it to your friends and family, because they deserve to be informed, to know what's going on with this election. Subscribe and continue to be informed, and have an amazing day. You're amazing, and be awesome. Bye.